So first things first, let me present to you our VC partners who will be doing their evaluation. First, I'd like to present to you Yiri Fiala, please, and Petr Jan. Last but not least, we also have the CEO of Animoca Brands. We have the man, the legend, Robbie Jung. Robbie, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Glad to be here. Thank you.
So the first startup will be presented here by Alexander Collis, and it is going to be CDR Machinations. Alexander, floor is yours.
Hey, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here in. The market's a little bit stressful for us right now, but not. It's in this time that reflects on how we can learn and how we can make a better future. So, the company that is Machinations. Machinations is a Turing complete system, which basically means that if you think it, you can model it. It's a solution for Web 3.0 projects and also traditional studios. So I'm just going to show you how it works. 1 second. Okay, so you can see this okay? Yes? Okay, good.
Are you presenting your screen right now?
Yes. Can you
we
see
do
my
see your
screen?
There we go.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so essentially this is a typical Web 3.0 economy in the basics. You have the player, they engage in the economic model, the game, they collect the tokens, and then they'll make a decision, buy the NFTs or sell it on the marketplace. So you always have this player choice. Yeah. And some of you might be familiar with this, but if you're not, you have 9 different player personas. So Navik summarized it like this. You have investors, earners, players. So perhaps you've got earners in a poorer country where they can earn $5 a day, $10 a day by playing these games. They are going to type of behavior in that game, which is going to influence the price of those tokens. So what we try to do at Machinations is we try to take these different player personas and we're putting it into this bigger ecosystem, the biggest system of the Web 3.0 game. So I'll just start from the beginning to make it easy for us. Okay, so this is how we start off. You play the game, you earn the rewards. That's what I've shown you already. And then in the Web 3.0 model, players then have the choice of selling the rewards. And the player choice, it can be randomized based on Monte Carlo simulation. But obviously, if you're going to involve the player personas, which are going to have different types of behavior because they have different motivations, then the model is going to be different. And we can model that. But I'm just going to go step by step. So then we have multiple players, which obviously makes it more complex. And then if we have lots of players, then the system gets even more complex. And then this is really where Web 3.0 goes much further. We have marketplaces, token exchanges. So there's lots of variables to take into account. Yeah. So essentially, where Machinations excels, I'm just going to get it for you now. Okay, sustainable. So this is the key word. You want a sustainable Web 3.0 economy. Because like what we saw with the recent crash today, right? That is attributed partly due because there wasn't systems in place to make sure that it was sustainable. So what ideally we would like to do is to prevent failure. I'm just going to get it in for you. Okay, so I understand that it looks very complicated to you. You've got all these different things going on. But essentially how Machinations works, it's based on a Turing complete language, and you've got 11 objects. So the objects are these things on a source. So a source could be an economy source, like, for example, mining copper. That's a source, right? A drain, say you kill a cow, for example. From the cow, you might get beef, and then you want to then perhaps eat the beef because it's going to give you health points. So that's a drain. And then a pool, that could be your bags. Yeah, so you've got storage because the resource is pooled. So anyway, got all these different objects that essentially go where Machinations excels. I'll show you. So we can do this thing called batch plays. And what batch plays done, essentially step is registered as 1 player day. And using this model, we can predict in 500 days' time what is going to happen to this game economy. So this is a way of making sure that the game is sustainable and your project isn't just going to blow up in 2 months or 6 months, but it actually has a healthy in-game economy. So that's the point, doing these models. Yeah.
Alexander, I just want to be cautious on time. We do have 3 more minutes left for the presentation.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna try wrap it up now. So Machinations is a very fast-growing company. It was actually only 2 months ago that we launched this verification service, and actually we're kind of a little bit overwhelmed now. We are taking the next cohort of games this autumn, but we have this verification service. So essentially, if you've got a Web 3.0 game out there and you want to get it verified to make sure that the in-game economy is healthy, then you can just go to this link here, click verify my game, and then we will obviously investigate it for you. We will test the economy to make sure that it's a healthy game economy. We have already big customers. So we've got Citadel, Heroes of Mavia, they've used us, and all these other projects have used our service. And you can obviously use it for marketing as well. You can use it as a seal of approval to say our game has been verified by Machinations to make sure that the in-game economy is healthy. So yeah, if you would like to find out anything else, then you can just contact me by my email address, which is, I think it's in this presentation. You can see it. It's alexander.coles@io. Otherwise, you can just go here, verify my game, and you can fill the form in, and I will get back to you straight away.
All right.
So thank
you very much.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to pass the first microphone to Peter for the feedback.
All right. Thanks, Alexander, for the presentation and for all the information.
Thank you.
If I understand right, you are helping to predict how much the games can earn in the future and lose the risks if they are not predicting well. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Because we have the 9 player personas. So each player is going to have a different type of behavior, and we include that in the model to predict what's going to happen to the in-game economy.
All right. I think it's nice idea to start predictive, start do this prediction, because for most of us, it's good to see which data the games can, how they can predict this data for future. This is for if I first my mention about this. I really need to know much more about competitors, about your price, how you would like to do it, etc. And yeah, that's from my side. It's interesting, but I need really much more details about this.
Sure. So I'll just answer that question quickly. We don't have any competitors right now, which is really amazing. So yeah, that's where we are at right now.
Okay, so I will jump in, Alexander. Nice presentation. Nice, let's say, modeling software. I have, let's say, 2 questions. The first one is, of course, the pricing, what you are charging these companies, because I would say that a lot of on building these kind of models is based on your expertise. These companies who are, let's say, using your service cannot use it usually as a basic software SaaS. They need some help, so you are providing some custom services and helping them to build the model. That's a question.
Yeah, sure. So there's two answers to that. So we have different pricing plans. So if you come in and you just want to try it out, it's free. And then we have the premium models, which will offer different features, and it offers the ability to do batch plays in a much shorter space of time. So that's the premium plans. Now, if you've got a project that wants to be verified by Machinations, we then have an in-house team who is going to verify that game using the 9-player personas and Monte Carlo simulation, which is true randomness. And they will then test the game to see if it is sustainable and healthy.
Okay. It's interesting, the commoditization. Let's say we have several startups that are in the GameFi or Web3 game development right now who might be using this. At this moment, I will not say you don't have the competitions because the startups have to do it anyway. They will build it in Python. They will do it themselves. But if what you are offering is much more better and cheaper option, yeah, sounds like a good plan, good project. Not sure about the scaling options in the future. So that will be something to watch out for. But yeah, nice one. So I think it's big right now.
Yes, thank you. We'll be at the Nordic Game Conference on the 17th to the 20th, if anyone is in Malmö, Sweden.
Cool. From my end, I'm actually familiar with the software, so I'm a little bit biased in this case because I've seen the business before. I quite like it. I think I have to look at it with sort of two hats on. I think primarily as a potential customer, I find it very interesting because obviously we have studios and we make games, and I think that a tool like this can be quite useful. It strikes me, to go back to the previous comment, is definitely something that's not for the sort of amateur user, if you will, but I think as a way to accelerate the productivity of a professional team who understands tokenomics and how to put together these kind of models already, but to help them to be more efficient, I think it's a very powerful tool. I think putting on an investment hat, I think, looking at investments we typically make as a strategic investor, this is a very logical fit because obviously we'd have a lot of synergy with existing studios and investees that we have. I think as a pure financial investment, I would actually defer to my colleagues' earlier questions about revenue charging model and things like that if I were looking at this as a standalone investment opportunity just for financial return.
Yes, I understand completely. And regarding the pricing, we do have a pricing plan, but it's not something I can disclose on here because it's normally something that is done by NDAs. So if you are interested in that, then obviously we can have a conversation afterwards.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for their feedback, and thank you very much for your time, Alexander. Really appreciate
thank
that.
you so much,
Do you have a
everyone.
round of applause?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. So the next startup is going to be represented by a person named Mihaly, and this is going to be Atlari.